Hey everyone, my name is Caitlin Walker. I'm doing my picture book presentation on the story of Ferdinand. Some textual background. It was written by Monroe Leaf, illustrated by Robert Lawson. It was published in 1936 by the Viking Press. A fun fact, this book was originally written on a yellow legal length pad in less than an hour. Plot summary. This story is about a bull named Ferdinand in Spain. Instead of being like all the other bulls who like to butt heads and goof around, he just likes to smell flowers. His mom always asks him why he doesn't go play with the other bulls, but he is content just smelling the flowers. All the other bulls want to be picked for the bullfight in Madrid, and while they're showing off, the men that come to pick the bulls see Ferdinand get stung by a bee, but they don't know he got stung by a bee and they think he's big and tough, so they pick him and take him. After they're all getting him ready for the fight, and it's time for him to go out there and show off his strength, the matador holds up the red cloth, and Ferdinand doesn't do anything. He doesn't care. He just sits there. So they're not very happy about that, and they take him back, and it's assumed that he's still sitting under the tree sniffing his flowers. The style. The pictures in the book are very realistic while they remain childlike. There's a lot of detail. You can see in the picture there's very close attention to detail, but it's still pretty childlike. The formal elements, composition, perspective. The reader is always on the outside looking in. Throughout the whole book, we see what Ferdinand is doing, where he's going, and what's going on in the book. Space. There's a lot of open space, which suggests loneliness and isolation, but as we know from reading the book, he is isolated. He isolates himself from everyone, but it's by choice, and he's very happy about it. But the open space gives us a chance to focus just on the images that need to be focused on. Formal elements, line and color. Color, black and white. Black and white is beneficial because it forces you to pay closer attention to the lines, shapes, composition, perspective, and texture instead of getting caught up in all of the different colors and all of that. Lines are both horizontal and vertical. The horizontal lines show calm and stability, while the vertical lines show height and distance. You can tell from looking at this picture that the wall is really tall compared to all of the bulls, so that shows you the height and the distance and how far they are from it. There's a lot of texture and detail in this. You can see looking at the bulls' bodies, there's a lot of detail. You can see everything. You can see their shadows. You can see what their different skin is like. The shapes are all very round, which suggests comfort, stability, and security. And also from reading the book, you can tell that these bulls, including Ferdinand, are content with how they are. They're comfortable in their lifestyle, I guess you could say. And everyone's just really comfortable with what they're doing. Ferdinand is comfortable just smelling the flowers while the other bulls are doing their own thing and butting their heads. Rhythm and movement. The size of the book is pretty small and it's paperback, so it's lightweight for children, so it's an easy read. It's not some big heavy book they have to hold on to. There's a lot of repetition about Ferdinand sitting and smelling the flowers. A few different places in the book it says how Ferdinand just wants to sit and smell flowers, sit and smell flowers. So there's a lot of repetition, so there's that constant that kids can hold on to. They know Ferdinand would rather be sitting and smelling flowers than doing anything else. And the whole story flows, it keeps going, it goes from one thing to another very smoothly. You aren't confused about what's going on, and you just want to keep turning the page and see what's going to happen next. Textual analysis. I think there's two themes to this book, but they go hand in hand. Be happy being yourself, and don't be someone you're not, because it's what someone expects. In this book, Ferdinand is expected to be a rough and tumbling bull because that's what bulls do. They butt heads, they fight. But Ferdinand doesn't want to be that. He wants to be himself and just be content smelling the flowers. Even when it comes down to everyone expecting him at the fights in Madrid to be a tough bull and go after the matador, he doesn't. He sits and he does his own thing, so they have to take him back. He's just very content being himself. And I think that's a really important theme in the book. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.